सुप्रभात सभी को। कुछ देर रुककर हम हमारे इको संडे के कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाएंगे और कुछ बातें करेंगे और साथ ही we'll talk about what is the role of engineering in environment. So please hold back for some time. Am I audible, ladies and gentlemen? Please write that up in the comments. Okay, thank you very much. We'll wait for a few minutes and then we'll start. Okay, so the reason behind this talk today has been my journey as well as the importance of role of engineering in environment as well as the different aspects which actually instigate the importance of environment. So we'll have to wait for some time because there is a technical glitch, but I would start with saying that today one of the most important things to do in this world is to care about the environment, and for that we are propounding and propagating this very activity for every Sunday. And before that, I would really like if you guys share and invite all the audience, and then we'll propagate all my thoughts which I have learned since the past as well as the future. I hope I'm perfectly audible and able to be heard, and I'll expect if any issues persist, I'll be known about it. Cool. Okay, so the thing was, I'll start a little bit about my journey to the Parliament of India, the temple of democracy and the abode of Indian subcontinent. The journey started while I was actually traveling from my college to my home, And in the bus, I got a notification from my college, and they were saying that there is a situation, there is a debate competition. Sorry. The debate competition was one of my favorite ones. My entire family, we all have been participating in debates, parliaments, open parliaments, and sooner or later we used to, participate as a sport rather than a competition. With forwarding situations, I came to my home, and there was just a 15-minute window, right? The 15-minute window was, if I had reached 15 minutes later, I would have missed the college level in competition of my NEYP. And with that environment, I would have not gained this much exposure as well as the teachings and learnings I've got. As I went my home, I realized that it was actually a time to participate as well as to instigate myself to, deal something about the environment. I have been gardening since my entire childhood. My entire roof has been green since my efforts or my family's efforts, and that is the reason why most of the people would realize that, yeah, I am an environmentalist. So, cut short, every level that I passed, be it college, university, or state, then to the final, everything helped me broaden the understanding towards the environment. And everything helped me in, realizing that the environment is one of the most crucial aspects of human civilization. When I was actually dealing with everything like that, I found a lot of people from different backgrounds, different aspects, as well as you might have heard, there was PhD scholars as well as students from the first year. And I found out that it's not about where you are, it's about what you think. And meeting with all of those people on the 16th of April 2022 was not only a golden opportunity but also a huge responsibility, because we were granted the status of environment ambassadors. We are the precursors of environment for the nation. We are the youth which are responsible for the environmental aspects. My entire aspect towards this was entirely based on, what can I do for the society? What can I do for the environment? And for that reason, I didn't stop. The funny thing is, I actually had to leave my midterms for this competition, the university level one, and I was scared at first. Leaving them was the very big deal for me, I believe, but it was. And I left them and I participated in the university level, and it would have been a setback if I didn't get selected, but majorly it was more about the experience. And much talk about me. Let's get back to the point where I started. This opportunity had been life changing, mindset changing, as well as exploring. And what I learned from this cannot be taught in schools or colleges or maybe universities. What I found was simply that we all can be together for a noble cause. And that is the reason why I'm talking here about my field in the importance of engineering, in the importance of environment. Engineering is not just about, developing new things and developing new aspects, but it is majorly focusing on solving problems. Solving problems as in everything that can be solved. Every scientist imagines things. Okay, we imagine that we'll do this and that. We all have imagined about futuristic cars, right? But it is Tesla that converted it, right? So engineering is the one that changes the world. Science fascinates us all, right? When I started my career in this field, I was worried that what can I do? What can I do for the world? But I learned that not only the world is important, but every aspect of the world is important. And that's why environment and engineering go hand in hand. I would really give you all examples on how things work, and I would really talk about what is environmental engineering. See, the thing is, we all are fighting towards our own paychecks, right? Everyone I've met in my entire year here, everyone is talking about packages. We all are finding ways to, maximize our projects, maximize the monetary aspect we'll get after this. But really, is it important? Is our actual money or actual situation important? I believe that, yeah, money is important, right? We all are working towards it. But I think if you do something for the world, if you do something for the religious aspect as well as the environmental aspect, you'll be a better person. And I think rather than a large earner, we need a better person. So, coming back to the point, engineering. Well, basically, I have a few examples to propound before the initialization of it, and I would really be happy to share them with you. I have seen situations and things and possibilities which will change the future, and I have also been working towards them. As in, there are hydropower plants in Rajasthan as well as the neighboring regions, I'm sorry, which are actually causing more harm than the benefit they are giving. They are hurting the environment in the name of generation of power. But we, as individuals, as engineers, are responsible for developing better hydropower plants so that at the end of the era, we don't face floods. For example, we have seen the Kedarnath floods, right? We all think of that as God's wrath. But actually, when we see about it, the Alaknanda river has been misused. They have put dams on it in such a way that we are losing major water. And when humans go against the environment fights back. And it fights back bad. The Kedarnath tragedy or devastation was the reason why we have opened our ears and eyes towards the environment. Around 3 to 4,000 people had to change their positions, locations, as well as their moments of earning livelihood just because of the sake that we haven't been careful enough. Along with that, we have also seen the floods of Jammu and Kashmir, Hyderabad in 1987, as well as the Kosi Dam. The Bhakra Nangal Dam has also, actually being the biggest dam, caused a large variety of population as well as humanity, as well as wildlife, a huge deal of problems. What are we dealing with now? I believe working towards the environment is not only important to, maximize our profit, but maximizing the environmental profits. We are working on artificial intelligence and machine learning models to train the computers how to decide what plant leaf is suffering from diseases. We have developed a model, a novel situation in which we can really realize how that leaf or that plant is suffering from diseases. And I believe rather than materializing that aspect, we are working towards a betterment of society. Not only this, just think of it. Let's assume that there is a disaster. All of the wildlife of India, touch wood, has been wiped away. How will we rejuvenate it? We need a secure database of the DNA as well as the genetic material of every species kept. But that database is prone to cyber attacks. And that's where engineering comes. We need engineering to propagate and save the databases. Cyber secure database of these genetically defined individuals as well as the genetic material will save the nature as well as not only the humanity. We are also working on blockchain based tracking of tigers and endangered species. We all have seen that the leopards, especially the cheetahs from the cat family, have been eliminated from our country. In 1947, the last Hindu Raja had hunted 3 cheetahs just for the sake of, endearment. And since then, yesterday was the day when cheetahs were reintroduced into the environment. So when we think about it, we have to bring them from Namibia, and why not keep databases? Why not, track efficiently and punish those who are actually causing the harm to environment? And that's where engineering comes into it. The blockchain based technology which we have proposed to our actual departments is that we will track the tigers as well as the endangered species such as chinkara and all, so that we'll have a database secure enough to not propagate these poachers as well as the finders and keepers of these materials. Um, by virtue of it, we were given the opportunity to visit FRI Dehradun, and we witnessed the WII as well as the FSI. The Wildlife Institute of India has the best forensic lab in the country regarding animal sciences, and that actual lab is working towards the environmental aspect. We are working towards keeping ecology as well as the environment of the nation safe and secure, and not just for the present as well as the future generations. We need to look at the historical data and to work for future plans. That's why I remember in WII we saw various poached materials, the skin of tiger, leopard, clouded snow leopard, and we realized that the proper culmination of these things would have led to the saving and propagation of these species, but we as individuals didn't lead that. When I realized and felt that tiger skin on my hand, I realized and I cried inside that what are we doing? Are we really working towards the environment or just burning the environment for the growth of our own nations? And that's when I realized and I got the thought of IoT devices. The Internet of Things has been a huge era in the Indian subcontinent, because with the click of a button we can switch off our lights. With the click of a button we can water our plants. But why not use that to save the plants and animals? To propagate fencing as well as the leading methodologies so that plants and animals can be saved. We have also proposed a census mechanism, census of the animals as well as novel generations as well as new varieties that are being produced every day. And every day we think of why these animals and birds and situations are being poached, and we found out it's rather a status symbol. And for that I have a novel approach towards it. Why not generate non-fungible tokens or NFTs of a particular animal or exotic animal and propagate them so that the actual animals will not be hunted? Why not generate NFTs of the particular habitats in which they are living? Because I'll give you an example, Mahindra Thar. Yeah, we all have dreamt about having that car at our homes, but the point is Mahindra has said that we can also buy NFTs or non-fungible tokens based on the blockchain of these cars. Then why not can we have them of animals? If you want an animal, why not generate an NFT of it, right? And that will actually maintain the situations as is. We will not have to reintroduce cheetahs into the environment, and we'll have a better situation. Why not use data science to accurately predict wildlife situations as well as migration patterns? I believe that the flamingos come to Jaipur and Rajasthan every year in the Tal Chhapar Lake as well as the Sambhar Lake, and they are reducing in number. Why not have a data science model towards them, keeping a track of their migration patterns as well as their developmental patterns, so that we don't have to suffer the wrath of nature? That's what my entire session is, ladies and gentlemen. We are working towards the environmental aspect of it. We are not just mere paycheck holders. We don't want, okay, let's assume that you earn thousands and thousands of dollars outside, but what if you're not doing anything for the nature? That, ladies and gentlemen, will be the least bothered problem. You yourself will suffer if we don't take care of the nature, and that's why I was instigated to participate in any YP or any other event of PSG. I'm actually very grateful to PSG as well as the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change for giving us this opportunity to present our views to the world. Because if the youth is not heard, I don't think the nation develops furthermore. And that's why we all are working towards a better society, a better engineering so that we, lead to a better world. I think every day, every moment, we are working towards the betterment of society, right? But we should also develop a green economy. We all think about futuristic situations, right? We all think about how future will look, flying cars and whatnot, right? Let's keep trees in the picture too, because even if you develop thousands of machines, the natural environment will need to be saved. And with that thought, I'll reintroduce myself because I didn't. Because I didn't have a background to introduce myself. My name is Rahul Sharma, as you all recognized, and I am an environment ambassador. That's it. I will not instigate and tell you what is my degree, what is my profession, nothing. I'm just a person who's working towards the environment, thinking that I can bring a change about the world. And if I can bring a change about the world, everyone can. Because I, for one, remember, I'll just tell you a short story about me. I, with, my friend, used to go to a temple nearby and used to fill sacks of, sand and bring them home and make our own garden. I remember in the summer of 2014, I guess, my friend, me and I used to go lengths of kilometers just bringing sand so that we can generate a garden in our rooftop. Planting trees. In Holi, we have that, the chanas and all. I used to plant them at home so that my mother does not have to buy them. And not just for economical aspect, but also for, feeling good. That's it. Every aspect of my work, I believe, may not have been in favor of environment. I would have generated waste, but I think I have developed an understanding towards what should I do rather than what I didn't do. And with going forward in my degrees and my curriculum, I believe in finding propagations and policies. Um, you know, these will help us for the development of a better world. I believe having model methods, model reunions of environment and technology to generate income would be a rather pathetic approach. But to generate ecology and environment would be a better situation. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I have been wondering for the day one how to change the situation. We all have been working towards data science, cloud computing, sensors, IoT, blockchain. These all are my fields. I can work on any of them. But if I don't use them to generate a better environment around me, I think I will fail as an engineer. And if I do not work towards the environment, I'll fail all of those ancestors and evolution that led to the world. If the early man, the Homo sapiens, saw us wasting our time and ecology on senseless things, such as fighting for reckless things, for communal hatred, for situations, and for imaginative thoughts, we will fail as a generation, right? We will face wrath of God, as I said. We don't want another situation, another wrath of God, just because we are insecure. We need to understand that we need to live with the ecology and not against. We need to realize that we need to use, not misuse. And that is when machine learning comes to place. I myself will, briefly introduce my novel methodology towards it. And we are actually working for Vision Transformer. It might be new or unheard to many of the people, but we are learning methods to use the satellite imagery of a situation, of a place, of a location, to really analyze the cloud patterns, the wind speeds, as well as the wind flow directions to predict the environment of a particular region, to predict the climate of a particular region, so that we can eliminate the possibility of wildfires, droughts, floods, as well as wildlife extinction. We have developed a research paper regarding it, and we'll be presenting it very soon, how to use machine learning as well as data science to develop a better novel approach towards environment as well as the safety and security of it. Without that, I don't achieve and I don't believe that we can approach, a better world. Because if you're not working towards the environment, as I said, we are not working towards us. We'll die. We will, you know, actually will achieve a lot of things. We'll have an environmentally sane, thoughtful, true. All of us are working towards generating generational wealth. Yeah, we are thinking that we'll earn money and save it for our future. No, if we are not able to use the money and our scientific methodologies for development of the world, we are actually not doing anything. And that is what I am here to say. We need to realize that all of the things that we are doing today need to be in favor of the environment. Because we all can, develop money from any aspect, but we cannot develop the, environment again. So I ask all of you who will view this today as well as in the future to pledge yourself not to just earn money and leave generational wealth, but also to leave ecological wealth for your well-beings, for your offsprings as well as their offsprings. Plant a tree whenever something good happens, whenever you have a birthday or maybe your marriage anniversary, your child's birth, whatever. Plant a tree and give that to them as a birthday gift. Ask them to take care of it, and that will be the environmental, social, and ecological benefit you can give them. And that is the only teaching you need to give them, because good thoughts, good people, good environment. That's it. You will only face problems if you are not ecologically or environmentally sane. And I believe that is the step of progress, that is the step of success, and that is the only way you'll ever achieve anything. And this is not me being a loudmouth, that's just who I am. And that's why I jumped on the opportunity of NEYP or PSG. Any opportunity I get, will put my head over heels to work towards the environment, because I hail from Jaipur, but my reality or my roots go back to Churu, the most arid region of Rajasthan after Jaisalmer and the desert region. And I have seen the first-hand view of what happens when ecology is disturbed. My mother used to go kilometers to just get water for our family. And I believe if we can't develop that problem, if we can't target the rural areas of our country and benefit them both economically as well as environmentally, what are we even doing? Our degrees, our positions, as I said, my going to NEYP or the Parliament of India will be useless if I don't work towards in the future. That's why I said it's a responsibility and not an opportunity. A lot of people have congratulated me, saying, oh my God, you went there and all that. I believe, no, I just got a work. I got something to work against, work for, so that the generations to come will lead my example for a better world. And that is the only thing I can say or I will say in this context. Because me getting a chance to propagate my thoughts at such a young age, I believe it is a golden opportunity. And I, ask all of you to work towards something that changes the environment around you, be it physical, emotional, environmental, or anything. Change the environment you live in. Bring happy thoughts, separate yourself from the bad situations, and you will be amazing. And as it said, if you work towards something, the world does good for you. The environment is good, ladies and gentlemen. it does not actually want to hurt the people inside it. There are no calamities that are happening because the climate wants to hurt you. No, you have hurt the climate and it is just responding. That is what any living being does, responds to threat. Don't be a threat to the environment. Be a good engineer, be a good doctor, be a good person, and rather than that, be an environmental person. Don't say I am doctor this, engineer this. No, I'm an environmentalist who is working in engineering so I can help an environment. And that's the only thing you'll ever need so that the world is a better place. And I believe me speaking for so much of time would have rendered so many thoughts in all of you. If you guys have any questions, queries, I would be very, very happy to answer them. And for that, I'm actually, happy to have found, while you write your questions, um, the major thing is, I found so many people. I found friends. I found teammates, colleagues while being at NEYP. I have friends from the entire nation now. And at such a young age, expecting, so many contacts was something new for me. And this portal, this podium to speak on is a wonderful situation. And I really thank Paravan Sanrakshan Gatividi as well as the core team members and all of those who are working towards the environment for giving me this opportunity. Because I believe all we ever need is an opportunity, right? So if you have any questions, I'll be very, very happy to deal with them. This was my part at EcoSunday. I hope I didn't bore you all with my long talks, and I helped you all maybe a little bit and told you about me. So that was me, Rahul Sharma, an environment ambassador. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. So thank you everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful year up ahead. I hope we meet again somewhere or the other, and see you. Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Thank you.